Millions of hot dogs pop off assembly lines every single day. But have you ever wondered how something so simple can be produced at such an unbelievable scale? Maybe you've heard rumors that hot dogs are just a mashup of leftover scraps. Or maybe you've thought it's the most genius way to feed countless hungry people in record time. One thing is clear, there's more happening in a modern hot dog factory than you might expect. From age-old recipes to cutting-edge technology, and from whispered controversies to mass distribution, this story dives far deeper than a mere bun-and-sausage combo. So how does an everyday snack turn into a massive global enterprise, pumping out millions of links daily? And what hidden details keep fueling endless debates? By the end of this journey, you might be surprised at just how much has gone into that quick bite you've known all your life. The hot dog story is more complicated than it seems. Long before mechanized conveyor belts and automated machinery, sausages were handcrafted by local butchers who had their own secret blends of spices and meats. Some say hot dogs have distant origins in Frankfurt, Germany, while others trace them back to Vienna. But their rise to fame in America took a leap when street vendors started selling them at fairs and ballparks. Suddenly, what used to be a simple sausage in a roll became an iconic comfort food. However, that sudden wave of popularity sparked curiosity about exactly what was tucked inside each link. Rumors began swirling that hot dogs were stuffed with every leftover scrap from the butchery floor. Although not entirely accurate, these murmurs did have some roots in reality. Sausages were indeed a way to use up parts of the animal that weren't prime cuts. But as demand grew, the industry discovered ways to streamline, scale up, and optimize production in ways few imagined. Today, the hot dog is a billion-dollar business fueled by state-of-the-art machinery and a global appetite for quick meals. Yet, the swirling controversies about their ingredients have only intensified. For all the talk, the hot dog's real journey from raw material to packaged product remains surprisingly mysterious to most people. How do they refine massive volumes of meat in a single day? And what exactly happens on a production line that can create millions of hot dogs practically in the blink of an eye? The answer might surprise you, but that's just the beginning. How they actually churn out millions every single day is where things get really interesting. One of the biggest questions people have is, what are hot dogs really made of? Most manufacturers use a combination of pork, beef, or chicken, which gets blended with spices, salt, and other seasonings. Some factories boast their decades-old family recipe, guarded as tightly as any major corporate secret. The idea is to maintain that signature taste that customers recognize. Still, the rumors about mystery meat and suspicious fillers haven't gone away. To be fair, hot dogs can include various cuts of meat, and the quality can range from premium to questionable, depending on the manufacturer. In many countries, regulations do require labels to state key ingredients, but not all rules are equally strict. That's where controversies come in. Accusations surfaced, implying that certain factories toss in everything from leftover tissue to questionable chemical additives. Whether that's entirely true or just an exaggerated tale, it certainly keeps people talking. Spices play a key role too. Paprika, garlic powder, and ground mustard seeds often feature prominently, along with nitrates. These nitrates preserve color, keep the meat fresh longer, and help kill off harmful bacteria. The flip side? Critics worry about possible health concerns tied to these chemical preservatives. Either way, it's undeniable that hot dog makers have perfected a flavor formula that keeps people coming back. Yet the ingredients alone don't explain how these links come together so quickly. Imagine steel grinders the size of small rooms, turning enormous slabs of meat into a consistent paste. This process is all about efficiency, with large metal arms churning and blending until the mix reaches just the right texture. Meanwhile, automated dispensers spritz in a carefully measured dose of spices, salt, and curing agents. There's little time for hesitation. Every second in a modern factory is time to get as many hot dogs out the door as possible. The consistency is crucial. Factories aim for a uniform mixture that remains smooth enough to be extruded but firm enough to hold its shape when cooked. Temperature control is essential too. Keeping the mix cool prevents bacteria from spreading, and it ensures the right binding properties for the final product. At this stage, the mixture might look more like a thick paste than anything you'd recognize as a sausage, but that's normal. By the time it's done, it'll have that familiar shape and snap. As for color and flavor, this is where the nitrates and seasonings truly begin their work. Not only do they extend shelf life, but they also help develop that reddish or pinkish hue many people expect. Without them, hot dogs might look gray or dull, which wouldn't exactly be appealing on the grocery shelf. Industry experts argue that these components are safe in controlled amounts. Some health advocates remain skeptical, but the mass market demand hasn't slowed down. Once the mixture is ready, it's time for the real show, shaping it into those familiar links. With the blended meat paste prepped, factories use high-pressure equipment to push it through tubes that form individual links. The next question is, what casing do they use? Some traditional styles rely on natural casings made from animal intestines, giving the hot dog that satisfying snap. Others use collagen or even synthetic materials, which can be peeled off after cooking. Each method has its supporters and critics, and debates often center on flavor, texture, and health. The hot dogs then enter long cooking chambers, often referred to as ovens or smokehouses. This is where steam, water baths, or sometimes real wood smoke help the sausage set and develop flavor. In certain factories, strings of hot dogs dangle in rows as they pass through a carefully controlled atmosphere. Other facilities employ conveyor belts that roll them through heated tunnels. Whichever approach they take, the end goal is the same: to fully cook the product and ensure it's safe to eat right out of the package. During cooking, any natural casing or synthetic skin that might be in place gets sealed, locking in juices and flavor. Temperatures vary, and so does the cooking time, but everything is meticulously standardized to avoid any risk of contamination. Some hot dogs get an additional step of smoking or flavor infusion, especially if the brand is known for a smoky taste. By the time they're finished, each link has that classic plump appearance. When they emerge from cooking, though, that's not where the story ends. Before the hot dogs can be sent off, they need to be rapidly cooled. Factory lines often use chilled water or air to bring the temperature down quickly, halting bacterial growth and ensuring the hot dogs maintain their shape. Then comes the packaging stage, often the most mesmerizing part to see in person. Mechanical arms or rotating spindles line up the links, pushing them toward vacuum sealing machines. In mere seconds, a batch of dozens of hot dogs can be placed in plastic packs, sealed and stamped with expiration dates. The packaging might include brand logos, nutritional info, and ingredient lists, though the fine print often goes unnoticed by casual shoppers. Some packs are sealed with an oxygen extracting process to extend freshness further, reducing the possibility of spoilage. Once they're boxed, these hot dogs move on to massive distribution centers. From there, refrigerated trucks or rail cars branch out across states or even across borders, ensuring they land in grocery stores, stadium vendors, and local markets. Given the scale, you might wonder about potential slip-ups. After all, mistakes can happen in any huge operation. Recalls aren't common, but they do happen if there's a contamination scare or if certain preservatives exceed legal limits. Companies have entire quality control departments devoted to spotting issues before they escalate. Whether you trust it or not, the system is built to supply a near-endless demand, as barbecues, family dinners, and sports events keep calling for more and more hot dogs. But mass distribution isn't the only thing raising questions. Hot dogs, despite their popularity, live with a slew of criticisms. Some say they're full of fat and sodium that can be harmful if consumed in large amounts. Others point to those nitrates and worry about long-term health implications. Meanwhile, there's always been an undercurrent of speculation about leftover bits and pieces finding their way into the mix. It doesn't help that media outlets occasionally run stories with sensational headlines, hinting at lurid production practices, though these reports can be overstated or taken out of context. However, the public's desire for healthier or more transparent options has led to new waves of innovation. A handful of companies have produced clean hot dogs with no added nitrates, relying instead on natural preservatives like celery juice powder. Plant-based alternatives have also gained traction, crafted from pea protein or other meat substitutes. Though these veggie-based versions don't always capture the exact taste and texture of a classic hot dog, they appeal to consumers looking to cut down on processed meats. And that's not all. Lab-grown meat has also made headlines, fueling speculation that one day we may see hot dogs that never came from a living animal at all. The question is, would these new alternatives truly replicate the experience so many have grown to love? While some predict a complete shift in consumer habits, others remain skeptical that plant-based or lab-grown versions can match traditional hot dogs in both flavor and affordability. Still, whether or not you trust the new methods, the sheer volume produced each day is astounding. From its humble beginnings as a handcrafted sausage to a juggernaut of mass production, the hot dog has traveled an astonishing path. Along the way, it sparked heated debates, fueled countless rumors, and inspired ongoing innovations to meet modern demands. Factories today blend old-school recipes with cutting-edge machinery to churn out links at a mind-boggling pace, millions each and every day. The process might be more intricate than the average consumer ever realizes, but it's also a testament to how tradition and technology can merge in the food industry. Still, some crucial questions remain. Are the hot dogs we love safe and wholesome, or do the controversies hold some weight? Could newer, cleaner, or plant-based versions eventually steal the spotlight, or will traditional links maintain their hold on global taste buds? Only time will tell. In the meantime, the next time you unwrap a pack of hot dogs, you'll know there's a vast network of farms, factories, and experts standing behind that small link of meat. So whether you're a lifelong fan or a skeptical observer, it's clear that the story of how we make millions of hot dogs daily is as layered and complex as the industry itself. Now, you have to ask yourself, after uncovering what goes on behind the scenes, will you ever see a simple hot dog the same way again? The choice ultimately belongs to each of us, one bite at a time.